What is going on, guys? Tonight we are taking care of this back end. Now there is a slight issue with this back end not quite being sturdy enough. As you can see, it is flopping around quite a bit like crazy. Looking up underneath here for the two frame pieces, they come out to the end and they are connected to the center, but just barely by two pieces of thin steel going one direction and then a tray that goes across. So in my mind, that is not very strong to keep this from the frame kind of twisting with it. But this should help out quite a bit. This is a class 4 10,000 pound hitch receiver that I'll be throwing on here. So in addition to having a vehicle on top up here, like either my Jeep or my Mustang, I'll be able to tow a trailer behind it as well. So hopping up underneath here, you can see we have this one plate that comes down and is bolted horizontally or laterally along this, horizontally into this frame here. This part down here is not bolted in whatsoever. So it's nothing really holding these two pieces from kind of twisting together on the frame. So I'm going to take this piece off here and then put the trailer hitch right underneath it, have it stick out the back end here. So as you can see, there's not much holding the back of this frame together to box it in. Down the center there are some thin pieces to kind of hold the structure just together, but there doesn't really seem much to hold the actual torsional pieces together. Now that is just because there's no back end of this. With the whole up and over the top, with the whole walls and rear wall back here and everything like that, it is a big box up here. It is perfectly fine for a school bus, but since it is not here anymore, it's not going to work. Looking on that bottom piece there, it does look like there are 3 bolts on either side that are going in from this back bumper, as well as the structural bracing for this flatbed on there. So I think the best thing to do is just cut that bottom piece off. We can cut it right at the frame, so then the entire thing just falls out and we don't have it there anymore. This is not very strong. Yeah, it's heavy, but the spots where you need it to be up against it to add the strength weren't there. So all you had is just little thin pieces of metal. A new hitch receiver should be a lot better. This next part would be a lot easier if you had a friend helping you out with an extra pair of hands. I don't, so these are going to be my extra pair of hands here. I don't want this sticking out from the back bumper at all. I don't know if you've done it, but I have done it way too many times where you walk around the back side of your truck or a truck and you hit that trailer hitch right there in your shin or your knee. That is the absolute worst. So I'm going to get this close to the edge, but I do not want it to be sticking over the edge whatsoever. With it approximately in place, about where I want it back here, I'm just going to measure out from side to side and see how far out this bumper actually sits. Slightly over 6.5 there, slightly under 7.5 there. I can tell from looking at the back of this is sticking out ever so slightly, like 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to take a mallet and tap this one backwards, so then both sides are measuring out exactly the same. That way I know when I put the hitch receiver in there, it is straight, and then we can start marking it up. With both sides of these now sitting at exactly 8 inches, it means that forward and back, they're exactly the same. Now underneath, I just got to double check and make sure that they are perfectly aligned side to side, and then we can start working on marking and drilling up for the next step, which is throwing in all these grade 8 fasteners. First thing I'm going to do is use this step drill to step it up to pretty much as close to the 1/2 inch as I can. And then I will finish it off with an actual 1/2 inch drill bit. I'm going to start off on these back side here. You got 2 here and 2 here. Start off with those 2 first, and then throw some bolts in there, tighten them down. I'm going to jump to the front one and then drill that one up, tighten it down, and then come back afterwards and torque them all down to 110 foot-pounds each. All right, and there it is. Trailer hitch is now in. It should be sturdy because it should be able to pull 10,000 pounds. Unfortunately, it's still does rock. There are little rubber pieces that go along the entire floor here underneath. It's supposed to help dampen a lot of the vibrations from the bus through the floorboards into the feet of the kids. So that may be actually causing that not to be completely sandwiched together from metal to metal, and that may be causing a little bit of that torquing on there. That should be it for this one. I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to test some other things out later. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to see you guys all next time.